The pain started long before anyone took me seriously. It wasn't just discomfort. It was sharp, blinding, like a knife twisting under my ribs. Some nights, I'd curl on the bathroom floor, shaking, begging whatever force existed to make it stop. And every time I tried to explain, my father's words hit harder than the pain itself. Stress, he'd say, not even looking up from his laptop. You need to stop dramatizing every stomach ache. I was 28, barely eating, down 15 pounds, and somehow still the family problem. My father, Richard Hale, operations manager at Northcrest Medical Center, was too busy preparing for his big promotion to senior VP to notice that his daughter could barely stand upright. His wife, my stepmother Evelyn, backed him with her perfect smile and her endless concern about keeping appearances. Richard's party is in 2 months, she reminded me. Can you please not create drama right before his big moment? My half-brother, Evan, laughed from the couch. You always have some medical emergency when Dad's about to be in the spotlight. Remember my graduation? The migraine? They all laughed. I remember sitting there, hollow, wondering how a family could look right through someone who was slowly falling apart. When I collapsed at work, I finally went to the emergency room. A CT scan later, the truth was staring back at us, a large mass, tangled deep in my abdomen, pressing on everything vital. The attending surgeon, Dr. Amelia Torres, called it what my body had been screaming for months. It's likely cancerous. Her eyes were gentle, her tone not. We need to operate immediately. The tumor's big, 10 centimeters. This isn't something that can wait. I told her where my father worked. Her face changed slightly. Richard Hale is your father? Yes. Do you know him? She gave a short, humorless laugh. I sit on the same board that just approved his promotion. When she asked if he'd seen my scans, I almost laughed. He says I'm being dramatic. Something flickered in her expression, anger maybe. Grace, any hospital administrator could look at these and know this is life-threatening. What your family's doing, that's neglect. The surgery was scheduled for Thursday. My father's promotion gala? Saturday night. In the same building. When I told them, Evelyn blinked like I'd ruined her weekend. You'll be fine by Saturday, right? The party's black tie. We need family photos. I'll be 2 days out of major abdominal surgery, I said. My father sighed like I was being difficult. Outpatient procedures are routine now. You'll have some discomfort, but you can manage a few hours. Dr. Torres said they might remove my ovary. He waved it off. Stop catastrophizing. These doctors exaggerate everything. Then, to Evelyn, she'll be there. Even if she has to sit in the corner. That was the moment something inside me broke. Not my body, that came later, but the part that still believed he might someday see me. Thursday morning, my best friend Maya drove me to the hospital. My father had a critical meeting. Evelyn was getting her hair done. Evan never answered my texts. In pre-op, Dr. Torres squeezed my hand. Your family not here? They have other priorities, I whispered. Her jaw tightened. Then we'll be your family today. The anesthesiologist adjusted the mask. My last memory before slipping under was Dr. Torres leaning close and saying, "We've got you, Grace. You're not alone." 7 hours later, I woke to pain so deep it didn't feel real. Tubes, drains, monitors, the faint smell of antiseptic, and Maya's face streaked with tears. "You made it," she whispered. "They got it all." Dr. Torres said the surgery went perfectly. But when she checked her phone, her expression changed. Your dad just posted on Facebook. Photos from the party setup. Evelyn's at the salon. Not a word about me. Saturday night, I was moved to a regular room, 2 floors below the glittering event hall where my father's party was in full swing. I could hear the music through the vents. Every burst of laughter felt like an echo in my chest. Maya's phone buzzed again. She went pale. He just posted again, celebrating with my complete family. So blessed. I stared at the ceiling, my abdomen stitched and burning, the heart monitor beeping steadily beside me. Complete family. 2 floors below, forgotten, I finally understood, some wounds don't start in the body. They start in the heart, when the people meant to love you choose their reputation instead. And somewhere above me, under the chandeliers, my father was smiling for the cameras. Sunday morning, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Unknown numbers. Missed calls. Notifications exploding like fireworks. Maya was pacing, scrolling, her face turning white. "Grace," she whispered. "It's everywhere." A video from the hospital's promotion gala had gone viral overnight, leaked first on an internal staff board, then everywhere else. The video opened with chandeliers, champagne, applause. My father, Richard Hale, Senior Vice President of Hospital Operations, stood at the microphone, beaming in his tuxedo. "I'm honored to lead a team that puts compassion first," he declared. "Here at Northcrest, we believe in caring for patients and their families." Applause. Laughter. Toasts. Then a woman's voice cut through the noise, clear and sharp. "Is that why your daughter is recovering from cancer surgery 2 floors below while you're throwing this party?" The camera turned. There she was, Dr. Torres, still in scrubs, standing at the back of the ballroom. My father's smile vanished. "Excuse me." She walked forward. "Your daughter, Grace Hale. I performed a 7-hour emergency surgery on her Thursday. She's been in the ICU while you've been preparing this celebration." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Someone dropped a glass. My father's face went gray. "That's a private family matter," he muttered. "No," Dr. Torres said, her voice like steel. "This is a leadership matter. You're being promoted to oversee patient care and family support programs, yet you dismissed your own daughter's cancer as minor discomfort. You called her surgery an outpatient procedure. You told her to show up for photos." The ballroom was silent. Every word echoed. "She has stage 2 ovarian cancer," Dr. Torres continued. "If she'd waited the week you told her to, we might not have saved her." The video ended there, but the comments didn't. The internet had 1,000 opinions. Hospital staff spoke up. News outlets picked up the story. Hospital executive ignores daughter's cancer for promotion party. By noon, the board had suspended my father's promotion pending investigation. 3 nurses came forward saying he'd refused their medical leave, claiming their illnesses were convenient excuses. Maya read the articles aloud while I stared at the ceiling, numb. "They're calling Dr. Torres a whistleblower hero," she said softly. "You're all over the news." I didn't feel like a hero. I felt cracked open, exposed, and tired. My father called hours later. "How could you?" His voice hissed through the phone. "You told that doctor our private business. The board's investigating me. You've ruined my career." "I have cancer, Dad. And you're fine now, aren't you?" he snapped. All this drama, this humiliation, was it worth it? Before I could answer, a knock came at my hospital door. Dr. Torres stepped in, still in scrubs, her face composed but her eyes fierce. "Mr. Hale," she said, calm but firm. "I'm with Grace." "You're on speaker." "Dr. Torres," he said tightly. "This is a family matter." She didn't flinch. "No, it isn't. It's a professional one. I didn't need Grace to tell me anything. Your dismissive comments are documented in her chart. Staff witnessed your words. They're recorded in the video. You called your daughter's cancer exaggeration in front of your entire board." The silence that followed was suffocating. Dr. Torres continued, voice steady but sharp. "Grace underwent a 7-hour emergency surgery. She'll need chemotherapy. The fact that she's alive isn't proof that she was fine, it's proof that she got help despite you." He tried again. "This is getting blown out of proportion." "No," she said, cutting him off. "For 15 years, you've set policies that deny compassion. You've ignored employees' medical needs, dismissed their suffering, and now you've done the same to your own daughter. This isn't about Grace's surgery. It's about whether you're fit to lead patient care at all." The line went dead. My father had hung up. Dr. Torres turned to me, her tone softening instantly. "How's your pain level?" "Manageable," I whispered. Then, hesitantly, "The video, was that necessary?" She sat beside me. "Grace, I've spent 20 years in this field. I've seen policy failures, heartless bureaucracy. But I've never seen a hospital executive ignore his own child's cancer because it was inconvenient." The truth had to come out. Tears welled up, hot and uncontrollable. "My family will never forgive me." She took my hand. "Grace, your family nearly let you die. Forgiveness isn't owed, it's earned. Her words stayed with me long after she left. The monitors beeped softly, the hallway lights flickered under the door. I stared at the ceiling, realizing that maybe the truth wasn't meant to destroy my family, maybe it was meant to save me. When the door closed, I whispered to the quiet room. They called it drama, but it was survival. And for the first time in months, I felt something that almost resembled peace. 3 weeks after the video, the hospital cafeteria still went quiet when I walked in. Nurses whispered. Administrators stared. I had become a headline people could recognize, the daughter with the cancer, the one whose father lost everything. I didn't mean for any of it to happen. I just wanted to live. Dr. Torres checked on me every morning. She never mentioned the scandal unless I did. Instead, she talked about my appetite, my blood counts, my next scan. She treated me like a person, not a story. But outside my hospital window, the world kept spinning. News vans parked at the entrance. Patients asked for selfies. Some called me brave. Others called me ungrateful. Then one morning, Maya showed up carrying a stack of mail. "You're getting letters," she said, dropping them on my bed. Real ones. Like it's 1998 again. The first envelope was from a nurse in Ohio. "Thank you for saying what so many of us can't. Maybe now things will change." Another from a mother. "My son died waiting for approval for his treatment. I hope your story makes hospitals listen." By the 5th letter, my hands were shaking. I wasn't ready to be anyone's symbol. That afternoon, Dr. Torres came in, holding my latest test results. "Your numbers look stable. We're moving in the right direction," she said. Then, hesitating, "But Grace, you should prepare for a longer recovery. Chemo won't be easy." I nodded. "I can handle it." "Can you?" she asked softly. I didn't answer. The truth was I didn't know. That night, my mother appeared. I hadn't seen her since the day of the surgery. She looked smaller somehow, like the scandal had pressed the air out of her. "Grace," she said, her voice thin. "I shouldn't be here, but I needed to see you." I didn't know what to say. We sat in silence, broken only by the rhythmic hiss of the 4. "Your father's been let go," she whispered finally. "The board asked for his resignation yesterday. He's furious, of course. Blames everyone but himself." I looked at her carefully. "Do you?" She flinched. "I think I should have protected you. I let him convince me it wasn't serious. I told myself he knew best." I studied her face, the tired eyes, the lines around her mouth. For a moment, I saw fear there. Not for him, for herself. "You believed him because it was easier," I said quietly. "Because pretending I wasn't sick made life comfortable." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I don't expect forgiveness. I don't have any left to give," I said. My voice didn't shake, but my hands did. She nodded, rose slowly, and left without another word. When she was gone, the room felt heavier. The machines beeped in soft protest, like they were tired too. That night, I dreamed of the gala video, but this time I was the one holding the microphone. "I'm fine," I said into the noise. "I'm always fine." And the crowd clapped politely as my body disappeared under hospital lights. I woke up gasping. Chemo began the next week. The first session was brutal, metallic taste, shaking limbs, nausea that felt endless. Dr. Torres adjusted the meds and stayed by my side longer than she had to. Between treatments, I wrote in a notebook Maya had brought me. Just pieces of thought at first: pain, shame, survival, breath. Then full sentences. Then pages. Writing became the only place I didn't feel like a patient or a daughter, just me. One evening, as I scribbled under the dim glow of the bedside lamp, Dr. Torres walked in quietly. "What are you working on?" she asked. "Nothing," I said, closing it quickly. She smiled knowingly. That didn't look like nothing. I hesitated. "It's pieces of things. Things I never said when I should have." She nodded. "Good. Keep writing them. Sometimes healing starts with what we finally allow ourselves to say." After she left, I opened the notebook again and wrote the truth I hadn't dared to before. He didn't ruin my life. He revealed who he was. And I revealed who I am. Weeks passed. My hair began to fall out, strand by strand, until one morning I found a clump on my pillow and finally cried, not from pain, but from the realization that I was still here. When Maya came to visit that day, she took one look at me, grabbed a pair of scissors, and said, "Let's do it together." We stood in the bathroom, laughing and crying as she shaved her head first, then mine. The mirror showed two women who looked nothing alike, and yet, somehow, shared the same strange strength. "You look like a warrior," she said. I looked at my reflection. My scars, my bare head, my tired eyes. "I look like the truth," I whispered. Later that night, as I drifted into sleep, a message arrived from an unknown number. "Grace, it's Dad. I need to see you. Please." My chest tightened. I didn't know if it was anger or something softer. The last thing I wrote before the sedatives pulled me under was a single line. Sometimes the people who hurt us the most are the ones who finally make us see ourselves. And somehow I knew, the next morning, everything would change again. He came to the hospital on a Thursday. I knew the moment I heard his voice outside my door, low, controlled, the way it always was when he wanted to sound calm. Dr. Torres had called earlier to ask if I was sure I wanted to see him. I said yes, even though every part of me was trembling. Some wounds have to be reopened before they can close. When he entered, he looked smaller. His suit hung looser, the confident posture was gone. He carried no flowers, no apology in his eyes, only exhaustion. "Grace," he said quietly. "You look stronger." "I am," I replied. He sat down beside my bed, his hands clasped tightly, the silence stretching between us like years. "I lost everything," he began. "The position. The board seat. Your mother barely speaks to me. Reporters camped outside the house for days." I said nothing. He glanced at the chemo scars on my arm. "I didn't mean for it to get this far. You know that, don't you?" "No," I said softly. "I don't." He flinched as if I'd struck him. "You think I wanted this? You think I wanted to see you like this?" "I think," I said, choosing each word carefully, "you wanted the world to stay exactly how you built it, clean, controlled, perfect. And I didn't fit into that version." He looked down. "I thought I was protecting you. By denying I was sick?" His voice cracked. "By believing I could fix it. That if I ignored it long enough, it would go away. That's what I do, Grace, I fix things." I took a breath. "I wasn't something broken, Dad. I was someone scared." He looked up at me then, eyes red, the facade finally collapsing. "I don't know how to be the man you need me to be." "Then stop trying to be anything," I whispered. "Just be here." He didn't answer right away, but he didn't leave either. We sat like that for a long time, two people surrounded by machines and memories, both pretending we knew how to start over. When he finally spoke again, his voice was quiet, stripped of authority. "I watched the video," he said. "The part where Dr. Torres spoke. She was right. I'd forgotten why I started doing this in the first place." "What will you do now?" I asked. "I don't know," he admitted. "Something smaller. Something that matters." He stood, uncertain, then reached out, not for a handshake or a formal gesture, but for my hand. I let him take it. His palm was cold, trembling. "I'm sorry," he said. "Not just for the hospital, or the press. For not seeing you." I held his gaze. "I don't know if I can forgive you." "I know," he said. "But maybe one day." When he left, I didn't cry. I felt strangely still, as if his absence was finally the space I needed to breathe. A week later, Dr. Torres came to discharge me. "You're ready to go home," she said with a smile. "Home," I repeated, the word feeling heavier than it used to. She handed me a small envelope. "The hospital's board started a new program, patient advocacy. They want you to speak at the launch. About what happened and what needs to change." I froze. "Me?" She nodded. "No one else could tell it like you." When the day came, I stood on a small stage in front of nurses, doctors, and administrators. My scarf covered my bald head. My voice shook only a little. "I used to think strength meant silence," I began. "That if I didn't complain, if I smiled through pain, it meant I was brave. But silence doesn't heal, it hides." I told them about the night I almost didn't go to the ER. About the surgery, the fear, the betrayal, and the woman who stood up for me when I couldn't stand at all. By the time I finished, no one clapped right away. They just sat listening, feeling, understanding. Then someone started, softly, and soon the whole room was on its feet. Afterward, Dr. Torres hugged me. "You did it," she whispered. "No," I said. "We did." The months that followed were quieter. I rented a small apartment by the sea. The sound of waves replaced the beeping of machines. Maya visited every weekend, bringing takeout and laughter. Sometimes I'd get postcards from my father, handwritten, never long. "Volunteering at the clinic today. Feels good to help again." Another, "Thinking of you." I didn't always reply, but I kept every card. My hair began to grow back, soft and uneven. I still wore my hospital bracelet for a while, a reminder of the girl who refused to disappear. On the 1-year mark of my surgery, I went back to North Crest. The same halls, the same antiseptic smell, but everything looked different. Brighter, maybe. Or maybe it was just me. In the lobby, a plaque caught my eye. The Grace Hale Patient Advocacy Program. Because compassion should never be optional. I stood there for a long time, tracing my name with my fingers, feeling a quiet ache in my chest, not pain, not regret. Just the weight of everything that had led me here. Outside, the afternoon light shimmered over the city, warm and gold. I closed my eyes, breathed in the air, and whispered to no one in particular. I'm still here. And for the first time in my life, being here felt like enough.